Good morning, everyone. We are so thankful that you're here and part of our InnovateAble showcase again. This is one of the things that I look forward to all year long. I think it's just such an amazing opportunity to see these products and kind of get an idea of what is coming now down the line for people with disabilities. It's very exciting to be part of that. Quick visual description of me. I am a white woman. I've got on glasses today. My hair is up in a ponytail. I'm wearing a green dress. And my shoe of the day, which you wouldn't be able to see, is a beautiful kind of tie-dyed shoe. If you've ever heard me speak before, you've seen that I always have on the best shoes in the room. And so Jake asked me this morning if I had my shoe ready to go, and I certainly do. It's sparkly and kind of a 70s tie-dye theme. I absolutely love it. Finally, we want to make sure that everybody knows we're doing a People's Choice Award. This is one of my favorite parts. You, the audience, get to pick your favorite product of the day. Now, we realize that this is a long competition. It's about an hour and a half long. So we're going to go ahead and open that poll up here at the beginning. So if you need to duck out, and you're not sure you're going to be able to make it back, you can go ahead and vote for the product that you've seen that you really enjoy the most. But you can come back at the end, and we encourage you all to stay for the entire competition. But if you have to duck out and come back, you're able to change your answer and resubmit at the end of the competition as well. We will be announcing that People's Choice Award live at the end, and we'll also be announcing the judges' picks as well. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our fabulous judges. First, we have Nick Nurbin. He is the Media and Digital Director at Travel Michigan. Thank you so much for being here, Nick. They do a wonderful job in Michigan. It's been an amazing state to visit. Next up, we have Chris Marr, the founder and general partner of Samaritan's Partners. Autumn Saxton is the Chief Education and Equity Officer of the National Recreation and Park Association. And finally, we have Christine McConnell, Senior Vice President of Programs and Operations for Central Oregon. Thank you so much, judges, for being here and giving your time. They will be asking each presenter questions. They've already seen the videos and have prepared their questions. And we're eager to see what you think of our competitors this year. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first competitor, and we're going to show their video. So if we can go ahead and get everyone's camera off so we're ready for that video, let's do that. Oh, I also, real quick, I'm so sorry. I want to just highlight our wonderful ASL interpreters. We do have two on here. We have Joshua and Jonathan interpreting for us today, and we're so grateful to be able to add that accessibility here for InnovateAble, and we plan on having that every time. So with that, let's introduce our first presenter. This is Dhaval Patel, and he is with Lotus. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Lotus. Let's go ahead and play that video.
I was born with twisted knees, and I've been on and off crutches. One night, a few years ago, I got into bed, having left the lights on accidentally. But I was too tired to climb out of bed, hop onto my crutches, hobble 10 feet, turn off the light, and vice versa. So I slept with the lights on the entire night and woke up in the morning thinking, if an engineer like me, managing a division at Apple with 37 patents, doesn't even have a smart home, who does? Turns out 91% of US homes were built before smart homes even existed, with no easy way to upgrade. Even getting an Alexa means rewiring every wall switch to connect to the internet, repeating speakers in every room, and downloading another app. That's 11 hours or $2,000 if you own the home. If you rent an apartment or are traveling, there's no solution. And this disproportionately affects the 27 million people with limited mobility: veteran soldiers, older adults, disabled persons, spending up to 4 hours at home on self-care daily. So at Lotus, we've created this wearable ring that controls objects at home by pointing. No app, no rewiring, no Wi-Fi. Step 1, put on the ring. That eliminates the need for speakers in every room. Step 2, snap on the switch cover. Magnets eliminate rewiring. And step 3, point and click. Infrared eliminates the need for any app or smartphone or Wi-Fi. With a $399 pack that includes 1 ring and 3 switch covers, you can control anything a wall switch controls. Lights, fans, appliances, even control the TV. This is a $335 billion market that's been over 80% untapped even after a decade because of the limitations earlier. And with Lotus, you can control any place in seconds, and you can take it with you wherever you go. And that combination is really resonating with people. When we started with direct to consumer, our first 50 user interviews turned into 5,000 user signups just through word of mouth. With B2B now, we got over 14 pilot requests in just the first 30 days, including from the US Department of Veterans Affairs and the state of New York, that has now given us an LOI for 10,000 devices. This has only been possible because of a team of engineers and clinicians from Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and most recently, the director of Nest from Google. Our vision is to build a future where there's a whole universe of ring controllable objects, where caregivers can subscribe to device data, and where any person can stay at home with autonomy and dignity, because dignity cannot wait for better times. This is Lotus.
What an exciting new product. Fabulous video. Now, at this time, we're going to go to the judges. Our contestants have 10 minutes to answer the judges' questions. So we're going to start with those questions first. We have up Chris Marr.
Thanks, Christy. Hey, Davil, great presentation and video.
Thank you.
It's a little bit of a two-part question. One is your product, is it or can it be classified as a medical device? And then two, can you talk a little bit about your manufacturing and supply chain? And are there any concerns around the uncertainty around tariffs? And could that impact the cost of your product?
Great question. So to answer the first question, no, it is not considered a medical device, so we don't need any kind of clearance. To answer the second question in terms of the supply chain, we actually were concerned about tariffs early on. It turns out we weren't manufacturing nearly enough volume for us to qualify for the concerns. Since then, we've diversified our supply chain anyway. Everything is now manufactured in Taiwan, and so that's exempt from tariffs. Not only that, it also becomes TAA compliant, which is great because our biggest customers are the US government.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question, Chris. We'll move on to Nick for his question.
Hi, Davil. I agree. Great product. Really, when I watched the video, it was like, this is really something I think that a lot of people can benefit from relatively easily. But one of the things I thought of when I saw the presentation in the video is there are a lot of different kinds of light switches and other kinds of switches. And so how does your product or device adapt to those different types, and how does it fit? Are there limitations where it might not work with certain types of switches?
Great question. So the two most kinds of common switches in the US, one is the rocker. It sort of rocks back and forth. That's common in homes built post 1972, homes or hotels. We work on that. I'm trying to have it cover on the camera. By the way, you can also use the device manually or use the ring. So it works on that. It also works on switches built pre-1972, which flip up and down, called the toggles. And so you can see it works the same. And so it actually, these two switches combined cover about 82-83% of switches all in the US. And so we work primarily with these two, which cover the majority of switches.
Yeah, in the video, you mentioned that you can even control a TV. I assume that's a TV that would be controlled by the light switch. But I was just curious. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a good question. For the TV, it turns out you don't even need the switch cover. So the switch cover is helpful to control anything that is controlled by a wall switch. So the common example being lights or a ceiling fan, or in some cases, a fireplace or a socket. The TV is a unique exception where all TVs, even the TVs from 20 years ago, already have infrared built in, which is actually the reason why we picked infrared in the first place. So for the TV, all you do is directly point the ring to the TV and push the button.
So it would connect like a universal remote.
Exactly. We like to joke that the Ring is sort of a combination of a universal remote, TV remote on your finger, and sort of the modern version of the clapper, if you will. The main challenges with the clapper, if anyone here remembers the clapper, that is, the main two problems with the clapper were A, any noise would set it off, not just the clapping, but sort of your dog barking or a TV. And the other problem was you could never have two clappers in the same room because both of them would turn on and off at the same time. With the Ring, it's been designed to be more like a flashlight. Only what you're roughly aimed towards turns on and off, and everything else stays the same.
Wonderful. Thanks for the info.
Thank you.
Let's move on to Christine. We have 3 minutes left. I'm so sorry, I misspoke earlier. We have 7 minutes for judges' questions. Christine, go ahead. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Nice to see you and thank you for your presentation. I'm just thinking in terms of the hospitality industry, and now I have a better understanding too, and I missed that part how people individually own these pieces. But are you seeing like this being available for vacation rentals? And when I'm thinking about hotel rooms and how they have the key cards and that like turns on a lot of the electronics, how does that work with that technology too?
Great question. So the key card electronics are a different space. They use NFC, which is radio frequency. Ours is infrared. So they're very different and they don't interact. To answer your other question, we're seeing sort of two types of behaviors. The most common one right now is end users just take the Ring and take the switch covers in their pocket when they travel. So in fact, for the past 3 weeks, I was in New York for the state of New York, which is our customer. And so I was actually on the road and switching hotels every day. I was just using these in my hotel rooms because the magnets directly snap onto the screws that are on every wall switch. It actually doesn't even depend on the faceplate. So people just take them with them wherever they go. Now, what we are seeing though, because our primary customers are B2G and B2B, government and private businesses, we are getting now interest from hotel chains where they're saying, hey, we can potentially just give this on check-in, either for accessible rooms where the wall switches are never at the right height, they only have the correct amount of space, or in general to anyone, older adults, veterans that might be coming in, or just in general, pregnant mothers.
Interrupt you.
Want to give it to everyone.
Deval, I need to interrupt you. I want to get to Autumn's question really quickly. Autumn, we have a few seconds left for your question.
Yes, it should be pretty quick. So earlier you said it wasn't a medical device, but thinking about the accessibility and the pricing for larger folks, are you all going through a process of trying to ensure that this could maybe be covered by FSAs or HSAs so that more people could actually use these as a health promoting device?
Yeah, I'll make it a very short answer. It is already covered by HCBS waivers. In the future, we already are collecting pilot data to get it covered by private insurance as well. That's ongoing.
Wonderful presentation. We really enjoyed that, Deval. Absolutely amazing product. I volunteered to be one of your testers. Thank you again. We are